Hello and welcome to the Slingshot Channel. Today I want to show you how to make the Rambone slingshot, probably the best slingshot that I've ever built. How to make this from Multiplex plywood at home. The most important thing that you need to have if you want to do it is a piece of plywood. It's furniture or marine grade plywood. Don't use any other wood. Don't use some kind of board that you got lying around because it might not be stable enough. If you don't have a source for it, you can buy it on the Slingshot Channel store very inexpensively. That's about the size you need. Then you need to print out the PDF. And actually what you need to do is you need to print this part out 3 times. You see, I'm a lazy guy. I just sprayed it on with a 3M photo mount. But you can also cut it out with scissors and then trace it with a pencil onto the wood. Now it's cutting time. Now you can do that with a normal jigsaw as well. I just use this because it's precise and it's also available for me. Okay, we're done with the sawing. Now you can see why you need 3 pieces of 18mm multiplex because of the depth of the slingshot. You wouldn't think when you look at it, but you need it for the control that you have in your hand because it's so deep and sculpted. So now you have to glue the pieces together. You can use any kind of wood glue, but I prefer 5-minute epoxy 2-component glue for the job. Now you want to fix it in the vise and with clamps, but don't push on it too hard because otherwise you will squeeze all the glue from between the layers. And of course you have to give it time to set. As the next step, we now have to file it flush so that everything looks like it was sawed out from one solid piece of plywood. Here is something that is very important. When you work with plywood, you always have to round the edges first, and you have to do this away from the surface of the plywood, like this. And if you don't do it, you will rip parts of the plywood off the surface. That's very important. As you can see, it's now completely rounded, and now we can start filing it flush. So this is now flush. As you see, the slingshot is taking shape. Now it's time to arrange the sides. I'll show you how to do this. You cut out this from the PDF and you put it over the side, and then you take a Sharpie and trace the outline as good as you can to the shape of the handle. And now you can take the rasp, or you can also take the bandsaw and cut it out. The rasp is more safe. The bandsaw is a little bit dangerous, but it's quicker. So I always use the bandsaw. Be a bit generous and do the rest with the rasp. So as you see, this slowly is taking the shape of the Rambone handle, and it already feels like a Rambone. Now it's time to deal with the top. Simply cut out the PDF and trace them on the top, and then you take saw and rasp to bring it into shape. Now we can really see the Rambone emerging. It's time for some serious rounding. And again, always keep in mind, never work towards the surface. Always work away from the surface. Otherwise you will see splintering. This is now basically a Rambone. It would actually shoot fine now, but it is very rough because all we did so far is the rasp work. Now we have to smoothen this with the file. So now the file work is done and the sanding starts. So you can of course go as high as you want, but I'll stop at 80 grit because that's a functional slingshot and it's not meant for beauty but for practicality. We'll now drill the hole for the lanyard. So the slingshot is now finished. It's not 100% the same, but it never is because it's a handmade product. What's now missing is the finish. I've decided to go with a linseed finish, and we're going to use raw linseed oil for that purpose. This is the stuff, and you can actually get it in a supermarket. You can also make salad from it. The nice thing is it's soaked up by the wood and it crystallizes in it and stabilizes it. And it's been used since medieval times. It's really good. So now we banded it up with a single layer TheraBand Gold band set, and it's just so nice how it fits in the hand. See, it doesn't really turn at all. That's the advantage of the handle. We're shooting 20mm steel balls with it. That's a lot of fun. Looking at both slingshots in comparison, you may ask yourself, is it really worth all these efforts? This is just 20 euros and this takes many hours to make. Well, it's always something special if you own something that you made with your own hands, so I think it is worth it. But anyway, you can win this one, the original handmade Jörg Sprave slingshot, by just going to the shop website and leaving a comment. The drawing will be in 2 weeks from now. So, good luck. I hope you like this. Thanks and bye-bye.